Alright, peace to you, man. How are you? Today in this video, I just want to share to you some thoughts I've been having in my mind about my predictions for the future and what I think is going to happen in the short to midterm future based on what I see in the world. And no, I'm not giving you any prophetic prediction. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm not a prophet. I don't see the future. This is just simply an educated guess based on my understanding of how humanity works and me seeing the direction where things are going. And my prediction in the future for the short and midterm is I think there's going to be a massive spike or a massive increase in converts to mainstream quote unquote traditional religions. So I'm talking traditional Sunniism, the more conservative religions, the religions that have not cucked. I'm not talking about modern like Vatican II Catholicism, because they've utterly compromised. The Pope is a total New World Order puppet. And really, I would say the figureheads of all the mainstream religions are New World Order puppets, but the Pope really makes it clear that he's just a liberal virtue signaling scumbag. So I'm not talking about Vatican II, but I see a huge rise in orthodoxy. So Orthodox Catholicism, Orthodox Judaism, Orthodox Sunni, quote unquote Islam, and also these kind of like Orthodox Catholics as well. So these sedevacantists. I don't know if you know much about that, but there's different factions within Catholicism. After Vatican II, a bunch of these like more traditionally minded Catholics, they were just like, what is going on here? This has nothing to do with the previous church, nothing to do with the original church. This is a total aberration from not only the Bible, but what the church has always been. Now we have like it's unbelievable. It's disgusting. And I don't care about the Pope. I'm not a Christian, but I'm just saying like the amount of compromise for the New World Order, because the modern Pope, I think he'll literally like pray with Hindus. I think he's gone into Hindu temples and certain Hindu like gurus and priests. They would bless, really they would curse some water or curse foods in the name of their idols, and he would actually receive that into himself. He would drink the water. Like, he's openly participated in pagan rituals. And a lot of Catholics, they're kind of just like, we don't want nothing to do with that. This Vatican II modern, we don't think this Pope is legitimate, and they're called a sedevacantists, and I think that means the vacant seat. They think that the office of Pope is vacant right now because they don't and it's understandable, they don't acknowledge the new Pope as legitimate. But these kind of highly conservative traditional groups, traditional Sunniism, traditional Orthodox Christianity, traditional Orthodox Judaism, and traditional Orthodox Roman Catholicism, sedevacantists, these trad cath boys, the elite hulks kind of thing, I see a huge rise in them. And especially because the reason why I see this is because now more than ever, it has become so crystal painfully clear that the atheist and his disgusting ideology has utterly failed the human race. The atheist and the secular, quote unquote, is not the new kid on the block. He's not the guy who's just like, we don't really know what he's about, what he's going to do, what the effects of this ideology is going to be. He's not the new Spurg on the block or whatever. Like, no, this guy has thoroughly discredited himself. All the institutions have been atheist and secular. He's had all the funding. The atheist man, the secular man, has had all the funding. He's had all the support, all the government, everything. All the gizmos, the gadgets, the time in his universities to figure out his social theories and his cosmology and all this. He has had all this time to figure stuff out, and he's utterly failed. What is the society that he's created here? The women are complete nasty whores. Almost every single one of them without fail, with very few exceptions. Nasty whores, disgusting. They just get horrified. It's horrifying what happens to them in high school and continuing on to their 20s. On top of that, the men are complete failures. They're just like jacking off and playing video games, and they want to kill themselves, and they're doing drugs. The atheist is not the new kid on the block. The secularist is not the new kid on the block. We can very clearly see the degeneracy and failure of the ideology. This system has totally failed. And I see a huge growing movement, this like people bubbling underneath the surface of the internet, underneath the surface of society, of people who are yearning for traditionalism, yearning for we just need some order and structure, this relativity stuff, this relativistic, modernist, secular society where there's no rules, everybody's right, everybody has their own opinions, and everybody's feelings are equally correct, except, of course, if you don't want to take the jibber jabber, then your feelings are not correct. Whoever said modernity has to be consistent, but I digress. This whole relativity thing, it has fallen apart. We can see it's destroyed the world. It's destroyed the atheist man, and the secular man is the biggest failure in the history of mankind. And give it 50 to 60 years, give it 70 years, if God wills for this to continue much longer, it's not going to survive. When this falls apart, he is going to be seen as the most disgraceful, contemptible little termite in the history of mankind. He is going to be the object of hissing and despisement for the entire world if the world develops into a new age and a new epoch after this great falling away that we're experiencing right now. But like I was saying, there's this huge movement underneath, and we can see this with a lot of the kind of humor that's going on, like this dark humor in the bottom of the internet, and specifically two types of videos I can think of. And you can look up these videos. It's one of them, like they're kind of called, you can just type it up into YouTube. They're called like reject modernity, reject degeneracy, and embrace masculinity, embrace tradition. So like reject degeneracy, reject modernity. You'll find these videos. They're basically 2-3 minute edits of, they'll usually be playing some kind of like powerful music in the background, some hard trap or some hard like dubstep beat or whatever. And the video will start with showing like modern degeneracy, so people doing all kinds of filthy stuff, so puppy play, effeminate men with their hair dyed pink, these like feminist liberal type of guys. And then it'll show men actually, fighting in their cause, fighting in their mission, and it'll juxtapose these two examples, so the manly man and then the weak man, and how we should strive to be the manly man. It'll show MMA fighters, people lifting, people building muscle, people delivering political speeches, just men being men, leaders, and excelling, not selling what was the word I'm looking for? Men excelling, not selling. Men excelling, and not this kind of mediocrity, being satisfied with mediocrity, which is what this system teaches us. So that's the one type of video I see. And really, those videos, they're a call. People just want to see masculinity. They want to go back to men, it being okay for men to excel at things, it being okay for men to be exceptionally talented, and to want to fight for what is theirs, and to fight for domination, and to fight for being the best, which is what modernity does not want you to do. It does not want you to find that masculinity within you. So there's those videos that are going viral. I can see that they're getting 50, 20, 100,000 views a video. And why are people watching this stuff? For entertainment? Okay. But this entertainment comes out of a yearning and a desire for masculinity in society. So there's a reject modernity, embrace masculinity videos. And another one is, what was that? Those types of videos. They're what is it? They're the... It's not black pill. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not the black pill. The Sigma male. Yeah, the Sigma male grind set. And for those of you who are not aware, those Sigma male grind set videos are essentially these videos where people have put these edits together of, it's this like smooth trap beat playing in the background. I don't know what the song is, but it's this smooth trap beat playing in the background, and they'll show various clips of, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's in a movie or a TV show, just various clips of men disrespecting and trashing women and just putting them in their place. And men are just gathering together by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands on these videos and just laughing about it. And like I said, it's just, where is this coming from? Is this just entertainment? No, it's not just entertainment. This is coming out of a desire to, this is a kind of a perversion and a dark, exaggerated form of humor of a desire to put women back in their place because women are so out of control. And I'm not necessarily blaming women, because women are led by men. Women will fulfill the demands that men want of them. It's that simple. Women will fulfill the demands that if the society as a whole, the men decide that they want a certain type of woman, a certain type of character, a certain type of like a certain type of a modest behavior, women are going to fulfill that behavior. Women are going to find and fulfill that role because women desire the love of men, and specifically their husband. I'm not blaming women for this, but in these videos, it's just a bunch of men. They're laughing at these just like these examples of men putting women in their place. And where is that coming from? It's coming from a desire for traditionalism and masculinity. They want to see women back in their place, and it's just kind of like a dark and twisted form of humor related to that yearning and that desire. And I'm not saying that's right. It's kind of degenerate humor. I don't believe at laughing and humiliating women or whatever. But it's once again this. It's coming out of a desire for traditionalism and masculinity, and people are starting to take that to the extreme where they're just like hating on all women in general. And you see that with these like Sigma male grind set kind of videos. And with this kind of cultural analysis, which I've been doing over the past little bit, I've been just seeing this going on. I see a huge rise in traditionalism. However, I think there are some mistakes people are going to make with this. The chief one is, I think people are going to start giving up their pursuit and care for truth. So I think a lot of people, they're going to start, and I've seen this, they're going to, I feel like even Elliot Hulse is doing this. They're going to convert to these religions: traditional Sunnism, traditional Catholicism, traditional Orthodoxy, Orthodox Judaism, Orthodox Christianity. They're going to start converting in mass numbers, not caring about the truth. They're not going to care if you can demonstrate from the Bible or the Quran that these religions, they don't follow the scriptures and the word of God. They are, it's horrible to think of, but they are frauds. They are failures. People are not going to care about that. They're going to be like, you know what, I don't care. I just want, we want to just destroy this atheism. We don't want anything to do with secularism anymore. It's destroyed our entire lives. And we don't care if it's not true. We just want some sense of order and symmetry and boundaries in our society. We want some kind of a tradition to live by, some kind of an anchor of morality. We don't really care if it's true. And I think that's a huge mistake. I see a lot of people in the underground, in this kind of dark enlightenment part of the internet. They're going down that road, and I don't think that's the right way to go. Because yes, tradition, masculinity, morality, these things are all good for man. However, the most important thing is the truth. And I hate to sound like this kind of secular enlightenment spurg, but they say this, but they don't really mean it. But it is true what they say, that the truth is the most important thing ever. The truth is the most important thing. God very clearly says in his holy words in the Quran that man is going to be held to account for what he believes. Everything he believed, everything he subscribed to, every truth that he followed, and also every lie that he followed, every lie that he told himself, he will be held to account for that. And he will have to answer for that on that great and terrible day. Now, the Enlightenment says that the Enlightenment guy says that he's going after truth no matter what. All I care about is the truth. And really what he's done is just destroy all of society, just broken down everything, the foundations of everything that we thought we knew. I'm not saying we go down that road. I'm saying we just be honest and follow the scriptures. Let's follow the time-tested, tremendous tradition, what the Word of God says. And I think a big mistake is coming in the future for a lot, especially young men who are just, they're desperately seeking something from a system which has robbed them of everything. And I'm telling you, man, these religions that have been being just absolutely humiliated by the atheist owns all the public schools. He's been destroying them. He's had all the franchisement. They're going to be waiting there like Big Daddy and Mommy with open arms. Come to me, come to Big Mama, come to Big Daddy. We'll fix all your problems. We'll give you the morality and the traditionalism you deserve. Just make sure to shut your brain off and not care about the truth. But that's a mistake. That's a mistake. And I'm sorry if this video seems like me rambling. I just thought I'd let you know, because I really see this happening. I really do. Either the New World Order is going to succeed and we're just going to live in this kind of Brave New World, George Orwell dystopia, which that's one way. Or another way, I think people are going to start going into hardcore, like fascist sectarianism, fascist adherence to their religions without using their brain. And I think this also might serve the ruling elite in a beneficial way for their tyranny, because they can start using these groups against one another, and people are going to start going to wars with one another, not thinking, not reasoning. We don't care. I'm just going to follow Sunni Islam. I'm just going to go with the Muslims because we need tradition, and these are my people. This is my gang. Anything's better than atheism and secularism. And I think this shutting off of the brain, that's going to become a potential problem for the future. There's going to be hardcore sectarianism, and I think a lot of wars between these groups. But I digress. But anyways, men, that's really all I have to say on the matter. I hope this talk was a blessing. And yeah, peace to you. Remember, deceit abounds, so keep your eyes wide open. Peace out. Assalamu alaikum, men. My name is Waleed Naeem, and I have dedicated my entire life towards spreading the truth about the words of God. And I don't know about you, but personally, I have grown sick and tired of all these mainstream religions, and specifically the mosques, which have utterly failed us. I'm fed up with them placing the words of man, specifically their fabricated hadiths, at a higher authority than God's holy scriptures, their lack of knowledge about conspiracy facts and realpolitik, and their complete ignorance of the true nature of our earth. I've had enough of their compromise, their weakness, their lame sermons which put people to sleep, their virtue signaling, their fear of facing any real persecution, and their willingness to let the quote-unquote secular atheist utterly trample over them. The atheists own all of the educational boards and teach their propaganda to every so-called Muslim and quote-unquote non-Muslim child here in the West. And now with the Toyota Corolla hoax, the atheist has successfully broken apart our communities and made us utter slaves to their government. Our so-called quote-unquote Muslim sons are a bunch of wannabe hood rat gangsters who vape, drink, smoke weed, and party like animals. And our so-called quote-unquote Muslim daughters are not much different. They have no interest in hearing about the Word of God. They are all too busy YOLOing. This has all happened while the imams have been living very comfortably off of the hard-earned money of their community members in the donation bins. As stated before, I personally am completely fed up with this. The mosques have had all of the support, funding, enfranchisement, and time of our communities and have produced absolutely nothing. The atheist has made the so-called quote-unquote Muslim man his bitch. He has steamrolled him in every way possible. That is why I created Eyes Wide Open. This channel exists as a call to action for all of those strong believing men who trust in their Lord fully and refuse to compromise the Quran. It is time the true sons of Adam and the inheritors of the tremendous tradition, in other words, the true Quranic Muslims, to set up something for themselves and fearlessly stand up against the madness that is going on in the world. What you see with my channel right now is only the beginning. These short videos I make in my car are all that I have time for right now, working a full-time job. I scribble these together while at work and make these videos while running errands. But you ain't seen nothing yet. If God should will, I have so much more in store for Eyes Wide Open. I want this to be a platform for the believers. Just a couple of things I have planned for this channel is, firstly, creating scholarly books, documentaries, and essays to arm you guys with the intellectual firepower for dealing with all of our enemies. Secondly, I would like Eyes Wide Open to be a center for heavy activism, public and street preaching, going to City Hall, organizing protests, knocking doors, going to baseball, hockey, soccer, basketball, and other major sporting events and preaching to the people leaving the stadium, going to the totally failed mosques, synagogues, and churches and debating with their religious leaders, going to universities and debating the quote-unquote secular professors on their laughable so-called science, and much more. It's time the believers start to fight back and shake the cage of this disgusting system. My goal is to create a base for the believers. I want people to know of our name, that there are dedicated, zealous, and studious men who do not compromise the Word of God, and we are ready to take action. If we keep waiting for our mosque to do something about the real problems of this world, then we will be waiting until Judgment Day. We need to create something now from the ground up. With that being said, may God bless us in all of our endeavors and guide us every step of the way. If this sounds like something you are interested in, and if you want to be a part of the movement, then you can help me out. My Patreon and PayPal are linked in the description of every video, and, God willing, if enough generous believers decide to fund this platform, then I can quit my full-time job and look for something part-time, or, even better than that, leave employment completely, which will give me more hours in the day to do this work. I do not care to be rich. All of that stuff is vanity anyways. But the fact of the matter is, my wife and I need to eat and have a roof over our heads. So, if you wish to support the cause, then I thank you sincerely for that and promise to fight with might and main in the cause of God for the believers. If you are not able to, hey, then I totally understand. Find somebody else who needs that money and give it to them. Give it out of fear of your Lord and in dread of that great and terrible day, which is coming to all of us. For all of the believers out there, the brothers and sisters who follow hard upon the truth, all I can say is much love to each and every one of you. May God reward you in this life and the hereafter. Praise goes to God alone. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Peace.